All right, we're here at ATX West. We're with Curt from FANUC America, and we just got to know one another a second ago, but we've crossed paths tertiarily in the industry before. You're on the control side of robotics, correct?
Yep.
And you've done some pretty impressive things in the automotive space, right?
Well, not me. FANUC has done some impressive things.
Okay.
I've worked closely with General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler when I was the automotive program manager.
Yeah.
And we introduced the first EtherNet IP technology systems integrated with Rockwell PLC systems into automotive. And that was a very successful integration. We worked very hard developing that architecture, and that architecture is still today the specification of General Motors. It hasn't changed.
So my question around that is, what is it like getting an industry to evolve like that, right? Like, that's not just like one group doing it. That's like getting someone in manufacturing to adopt a new way of thinking.
It's getting your customer to admit that they don't know what they don't know.
Okay.
And getting them to say, I've got ideas. So we were very lucky. The gentleman that was in charge of powertrain automation at General Motors was willing to discuss things. And we had a good personal relationship. And I said, so you want us to come up with an idea for a future? He said, yes. So I said, well, what's your dream? So we brainstormed together with the Rockwell people.
Yeah.
Wow. And then we went away. And then we came back and said, we're going to give you something that's off the shelf that meets all your needs. And they looked at it and said, well, that's impressive, but we don't want serial number one. We said, all right, are you willing to trust us? Can we work together?
Yeah.
And they gave us a small project that was successful. And from that, we won the permanent specification.
Okay.
But it's that long-term business relationship, building on what you want to do, and then finding someone at the customer level that's willing to take a chance on new technology moving forward.
How do you find those individuals, right? I feel like that's the thing we're trying to do all the time, right? Is figuring out the person that's willing to take, let's say, a calculated risk or willing to try something new, right? Like, how do you find those needle in the haystack type individuals?
I think the way that I do it personally is I love going in and asking my customers, where are your real problems?
Yeah.
Where are you struggling?
Yeah.
If you can develop a rapport with them to the point where you can understand, I can understand their problems and they can understand what I can bring to the table, that trust begins to develop. That's when the risk assessment starts to happen. So they trust you and you're offering them a risky, if the risk assessment's too high, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But if you understand their real problems and you're going to solve their low-hanging fruit problems, life gets easier.
Yeah.
How do you find that person? You just talk to a lot of them.
Yeah, and you probably get a little litmus test as to whether or not this person's going to play ball a little bit, or they're kind of on the same wavelength. Well, it's cool talking about the past. What are you excited about right now in your space?
Everything's changing. And automotive is changing. Manufacturing's changing. We're seeing a dearth of people in manufacturing world right now. Everything is a struggle. Yeah. I come from the machine tool side, so I'm in machine shops every day.
Yeah.
Every one of them has a help wanted sign out front, and they can't get skilled people. So what does that mean? Then they turn to automation, which means we bring the solution of the robot into the machine tool world as well. We combine all that together. We bring a stem to stern solution to their problems. Yeah. So it's more production with less human input can be done. It's just you got to be willing to spend some money and you got to be willing to take some risks to get you something. But there's some great integrators out there. There's some really good companies that can do it, and we're working and partnering with every one of them.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to tell some of the story today. It's nice to always have the yellow shirts that jump right out to make it easy to come over. So, Curt.
Thanks, fighting color.
Absolutely. Appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.